Have you ever been in that situation when you were on the verge of signing your first client, but they asked for your previous results and case studies, and it just completely messed everything up and you lost the deal? Well, I have been in that situation, and I have helped not only myself, but also hundreds of people overcome that situation and manage to sign clients even without previous experience or case studies. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you my exact tips and strategies to actually come out of a situation like this as a winner. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So the first thing to do when you get into a situation like this, when a client is asking for previous clients that you work with or any sort of case studies or testimonials, is to not lie. Okay, lying is one of the worst things you can do because number one, it's very unethical, but also most people will see straight through it. And if they also try to validate your results, or if they ask follow-up questions about the thing that you just completely made up, well, you are going to crumble in that situation. So definitely don't lie. If someone asks about it and the truth is that you didn't work with other people before, then just own up to that fact. And the second thing to do is to play your side in the situation. Now, whether you are very experienced and you are running a big business as a creative already, or if you are just starting out, there is always a card that you can play correctly. Just like how in poker, you can win even with a shitty hand of cards if you play it right, it's the same thing in business as well. So what you want to do if you are starting out and you don't have tons of experience is to basically highlight the benefits of working with you. So what you could say, for example, is, hey, yes, I don't have any other clients I'm working with at the moment, but because of that, I'm going to be able to put 110% of my focus on just working on your videos and your channel and making sure that the work I produce for you is as good as it can humanly be, and I will make sure to improve upon every single video to get you as good results as possible, because I really need this to work just like you do as well. I want to get a great case study and even hopefully a testimonial out of this. So I will make sure to commit 100% of my effort into just you, and I will not be spreading my focus across hundreds of clients like some of these other agencies out there where you are just a number at the end of a spreadsheet, right? So you can always play your side, whether you're the small fish or you are the big dog, you can always just lean onto that side and really highlight the benefits of you versus the other player. Now, if you are the big guy in the situation, you could say, well, I have this many years of experience, look at all these tons of case studies and clients we have worked with. You wouldn't want to work with someone who's brand new, right? But in your scenario, in this case, you can also play the opposite side of that coin and highlight to them how you can put all your focus, attention, and effort into making their content as good as humanly possible and getting them as amazing results as you can. Now, the next thing is to actually get good at the skill that you are selling. I mean, this goes without saying, but I see a lot of editors as well out there, or content agency owners, right, who are trying to get clients without first being actually good at the skill that they are trying to sell. So I would highly encourage you to just go ahead and for a couple months, put on your horse blinders and get as good as you can at editing, and make sure to get around 2 to 3 really exceptional videos in your portfolio, so you will be able to actually showcase that you are capable of delivering what you are offering them, right? I see a lot of people as well who are trying to sign paid clients without having any sort of work to show, and so that is just going to be really difficult because obviously the client in their head, or the potential client in their head, is always thinking like, okay, if I pay this person, is it likely that I will get the result that I want? Is it likely that I will get a finished product that I'm happy with or not? And if you don't have any other example videos to show them, it's going to be difficult to do. Now, you might be thinking, well, Vince, how do I get these example videos if I don't have a client now? You can easily just re-edit other people's content as well that's unedited right now, for example, and get your own portfolio that way, right? You can create your own portfolio even without having clients, so that way, when you get into a situation like that, when the client is asking, hey, can you show me a couple of videos that you edited, for example, in the past, past, you will actually have something to show, even if you haven't worked with any paid clients before in the past. And then the next thing I would tell you is to not be afraid to take on a client for free in the beginning, simply because having a good case study where you take a client, let's say from 10,000 subscribers to 25,000 subscribers in 3 months, or you help someone start up their Instagram account and they manage to get a lot of new deals from it and grow it, right? Just a case study like that is worth its weight in gold for you. So I wouldn't be afraid of doing some free work in the beginning, because the case study that you can get at the end of it is going to be super valuable for you. However, if you still want to remain in a position of power when you're talking to someone about doing free work for them, you can say like, hey, I'm willing to do this for you completely free of charge, and I will, treat you just like if you were a paying client. However, if you were happy at the end of this 30 days or 60 days, I would like to ask for a testimonial in return so I can market my services better. And you can tell them like, you can only give it to me if you were actually happy and satisfied with everything, and nobody's going to say no to that, right? But like I said before, having a great case study with a testimonial attached to it as well is going to make it so much easier for you to sign your second, third, and fourth client for paid projects, right? Now, one thing you do want to keep in mind though is that free trials pretty rarely convert into paying customers. It can happen, but don't expect it, okay? So if you do free work for someone for a month and you crush it and you even get a testimonial, there's still a high likelihood that they're not going to turn into a paid client. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to set yourself up for failure in terms of expectation. This is actually how I managed to get my first retainer clients when I started out as a video editor, where I did 1 month of work for completely free of charge and then transitioned into paid work with that same client. But in most cases, the people who are out there for free work aren't gonna convert, especially at high ticket prices. Now, the next thing I would recommend you if you want to sign your first client is to build up confidence through real life habits outside of just editing or outside of just the agency world, right? So when it comes to sales calls or conversations, right, it's all about energy transfer. You're trying to transfer your energy onto the other person and make them trust you enough to be willing to pay you some money, right, and take you on for your service. And the way you do that is by having confidence and also just knowing in yourself that you will be delivering something of value to that other person. Now, the way you build confidence in yourself is by sticking to your own word. So even if you just tell yourself like, hey, I'm going to go running every single day for the next 30 days, and you actually do that and you actually follow through with it, you will feel a lot more confident in yourself because you said something and you actually did it. And you can do this with smaller things as well, like waking up on time every day for the next week, or eating healthy foods, or whatever it is for you, right? But go ahead and build up some personal confidence, because it's genuinely going to help you on sales calls and sales-like conversations as well. I know it sounds weird, I know it sounds a little bit woo-woo, but trust me, I can tell this from personal experience that the moment I started focusing on my self-improvement as well, when I was just 15 years old, was the moment when other people started taking me seriously as well. So if you want others to treat you with respect and have confidence in you that you will be able to deliver for them, you need to first create confidence and belief within yourself. And the way you do that is by actually saying some stuff that you are going to do and following through with your word. You also want to have a full pipeline. Now, a reason why a lot of people really struggle with signing that initial client is because you have a lot of pressure on you, because you don't have a lot of sales calls and opportunities lined up for you, right? The reason you feel all of that stress and anxiety on that call is, yes, because you don't have experience being in that setting, but also because your opportunities are very limited, right? Because you don't know how to set appointments consistently and get job opportunities on your desk very consistently, right? So if you can just manage to crack that, there will be a lot less pressure on you, and you will most likely perform way better in sales environments as well. So if you want to learn, by the way, how to set a lot of appointments, we do have a program. It's not for everyone, but if you're very serious about making this into not only a full-time career, but a thriving business, we have a program called Grow Creatives, which might be able to help you with that. So you can check that out in the first link in the description below. But anyways, aside from the shameless plug there, right? You want to make sure to learn how to set appointments through organic prospecting, cold emails, X outreach, whatever it is that you want to use, right? Even if it's Upwork, I don't really care what you do, but you want to be able to have multiple opportunities lined up every single week, so the pressure is not as high, because you know that, hey, even if this person doesn't turn into a paying client, that's okay, because I have 5 more opportunities lined up for the rest of the month. And also, people can sense if you are very desperate for a sale on the call, right? And it will turn them away. However, if they can sense that, okay, like I can tell that this guy doesn't really need me, he probably has other opportunities as well, they will be actually more drawn to work with you. So it's kind of funny how the world works in that sense, that those people who don't really need the opportunity are the ones who get it. But because of this exact reason, you need to learn this skill set. Last but not least, you want to remember that this is a numbers game. As long as you don't quit, you cannot lose. And it doesn't matter if you mess up your first sales call or your first 3 sales calls or even your first 10 sales calls, you might get a yes on the 11th one, okay? And you don't want to measure your overall performance on such small number of calls. I would say don't even really start judging yourself until you had 15, 20 sales calls, because even if you close at an average rate of 20%, well, that doesn't look like, you know, on the first 10 call you get necessarily 2 yeses. You might be only getting your 2 or 4 yeses in the second 10, right? After you had your first 10 no's in a row. So just keep that in mind, that you cannot really measure your true performance on a super short time frame and a super small amount of data. And also, again, it's just a numbers game. Eventually somebody will say yes, as long as you keep improving after every single call. You analyze them, you see what you did wrong, what you did right, and you keep constantly improving and making your pitch, making the entire process more refined and better. So if you want me to make a video on that, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you want to learn the exact process I've used to close hundreds of thousands of dollars online selling services. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this is going to help at least one of you guys out there. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. And also, if you're very serious about growing your income as a freelancer or starting a creative agency, check out Grow Creatives below, and I will see you in the next one.